Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 85 of the Couch on Ice podcast. This is our trade deadline episode. We are currently still in the middle of the deadline.
Yeah.
So lots of trades coming up to talk about. That's all we're talking about today.
Just got a notification.
Just got a notification. Well, you're going to be hearing that all damn pod because since we've sat down in the past 10 minutes getting ready for this, there has been 4 trades. At least. So.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah, hey.
We got some big ones coming up today.
I'm just sitting here watching my ticker tell me what's going. Oscar Sundquist. We got Oscar Sundquist.
The wings getting Sundquist. There you go. There you go. Well, before we get into all the fresh trades and reacting to them, let's zoom through the trades we've already discussed on the podcast. I'm going to just start throwing them out. We're each going to say who we like the deal for the best, and then move on until we get to the newer shit. So, let's start with the Colorado Avalanche and Anaheim Ducks. Colorado getting Josh Manson, 50% retained for a second-round pick in 2023, and Drew Ellison. Thoughts? Who wins for you boys?
I think the Avs do, and I mean, Manson's already fitting well. He loves watching Kel McCarr. What could be better?
Yeah. I agree. Manson's
He's like
perfect.
an actual better version almost of Eric Johnson. Like,
he
man,
literally
he's
is.
He's a perfect.
Yeah.
He's a perfect fit. Like, I was thinking they were just gonna go small with like Justin Braun. This is obviously much better.
Obviously much better. Moving on to the second Avs trade, we got the Nico Sturm for Tyson Jost trade. Again, I love the Avs deal, getting Cap out and the better defensive center. You guys assume I agree.
Yeah, it's about the same, right?
Yeah.
Like the Avs can't exactly win this one, but in terms of what they're doing, they're moving. Cap.
Yep.
Yeah, I super love Nico Sturm.
Absolutely.
I actually think he's going to help a lot. Jost has been here nor there, and Sturm seems to bring her every night. So I think that was why they did it, other than cap reasons, obviously.
Yeah, and speaking of cap reasons, our next move is strictly for that, as the Florida Panthers send Frank Vatrano to the New York Rangers for a 4th-round pick in 2022. Rangers win this with ease because you get a free player. Yeah, you get a free player for Cap to take. So, what a deal for the Rangers. Moving on to the big deal, the start of the Panthers buying everyone as they trade with the Montreal Canadiens, trading them Tyler Samanik, a 1st-round pick in 2023, a 4th-round pick in 2022, in exchange for Ben Sherratt, 50% retained. Now, if you know and listen to the podcast, you know how I feel about this. Montreal forced the fuck out of Florida.
Nah, that's a good deal. It's all right, man. Like I've said, this guy you need somebody who can get away with cross-checking people in front of the net in the playoffs. And
that's why we got Bullio for a 7th. So,
No, I think it's really good for Florida. I think it was a big hole they needed. I've said it before with Gudas. It was like their only big chippy guy. Intimidating guy
for Florida, but as we've agreed on, I do think it was a very large overpayment.
Yes.
Yeah, it was overpayment, or you weren't getting them. That was simply it.
No, I agree.
Honestly,
they held firm, and props to Montreal.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were just offering first, and they just gave them that extra couple pieces that they probably don't have in their future, anyways. So I think to them it was okay.
Yep. No, fair enough. Moving on to the Calgary Flames as they win the bidding war for Calle Yarncroc, 50% retained. The Seattle Kraken receive a 2nd-round pick 2022, a 3rd-round pick in 2023, and a 7th in 2024. So,
well, you said that wrong. They received your boy
Calle. Sorry, I'm sorry, Marshawn Lynch. Your boy Calle going to play with his best friend and his cousin in Calgary.
Yeah, exactly.
What could be better for Calgary?
Yeah,
it's literally like trying to create the Cinderella story here with Calgary. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, and funny enough, I'm gonna say this is a very even trade.
I agree.
There was a bidding war, so that's why there's the extra 3rd in there and such. Like, I get that, but I think he fits the need they most need, Calgary, and obviously Seattle getting some decent picks for a guy who wasn't coming back. So,
and the 7th-round pick basically just paid for the retention, from what I understand. So
and moving on to the first big explosion trade, I guess we could say, Brandon Hegel deal to the Tampa Bay Lightning. As Tampa Bay get Brandon Hegel and 2 4th-round picks, 2022 and 2024. And Chicago gets 2 1st-round picks, 2023 and 2024. Boris Kachuk and Taylor Radish. Now, Love it for Tampa. I'm not gonna like pretend I hate it at all. I don't. But
No, I think this was
Chicago
great
did so
both
good.
ways.
Yeah.
I think it's good both ways, but obviously Chicago certainly in their what they wanted wins it.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't want
Tampa gets Hegel, which is huge, and Chicago gets a great start to their rebuild.
Absolutely.
I'm somewhat disappointed in Chicago not getting a high this year's pick. I really am. I feel like if this is what you could haul for them,
in before,
like you could have got like a good first round pick this year and probably a great prospect. Like I look at the Dallas Stars and say, you guys missed out because you could have definitely given up one or two of your prospects with your first round pick, and it probably wouldn't have hurt you too bad, and they probably would have accepted it. But yeah, no, this is great for Chicago. I think I love those two additions, Boris Tkachuk and Radish. They're just not ready to win a Stanley Cup. They look great. They look like they're progressing well, but Tampa doesn't need progression. They need results.
Worth noting too, I found out why these two specific players were in this deal. It's because their money had to match up perfectly to Hegel's. They saved $17,000 on this deal. That is it. Wow. So they were literally scraping pennies. So that also is a big reason why those were.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, no, there's lots of these deals have been pretty amazing. How they're just not touching their roster in a sense, like their actual main group
for managing their money so well. They clearly know the cap system through and
through. You got to be willing to pay up to make sure you don't actually move and deal with cap like easily, because it's
absolutely.
We'll get into that.
Moving on, we got the first depth guy, I guess, going to the Minnesota Wild, Nick Delorier, in exchange for a third-round pick to the Anaheim Ducks in 2023. I like it for the Wild, like it for Anaheim. It's
the team that has the most meat and potatoes said, you know what, I need more.
Yeah, they just kept getting more meat and potatoes, like we'll get into later.
Man,
let's hope.
Deal. He should be all right. I don't know.
I think he'll be fine. He'll penalty kill. He's really good at scaring the shit out of people. Like I love him.
Like Minnesota's got a great prospect pool too, so like it's
they got great
not going to be that big a deal for them.
Really nice culture in there. So moving on to the biggest defenseman trade thus far, I believe. Hampus Lindholm to the Boston Bruins with Cody Curran. And the Anaheim Ducks receive a first-round pick in 2022, a second-round pick in 2023, a second-round pick in 2024, John Moore, and Urho Vakanainen, and Lindholm's salary 50% retained, as well as it came with an extension at $6.5 million AAV for 8 years. I'm done talking. What do you guys think?
Boston knew what they wanted, and they went out and got it, I guess.
Yeah.
As well as Anaheim did, I'm going to say even. Because where Boston is in their current state of their team.
Yeah.
They're like literally win now or bust. So
exactly.
I'm fine. I don't care about giving up all this stuff, honestly. I really don't. It might help a rebuild down the line actually being worse, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, just making sure that you're solidified, got that big three like I've talked about before when McAvoy, Carlo, and Lindholm, like that's a good group to move on with. Like I was bringing Chychrun into that conversation. What I'm assuming is they didn't love their proposition, and Boston wasn't that willing to like literally like throw every chip they have at just one guy just for his good contract when they probably can make things work in the off season. So I do like this for Boston. The second round pick is for taking John Moore basically. So you're getting Urho Vakanainen and a couple of picks that can probably possibly be some, but you're waiting on it super hard. So it's good for the Ducks. I think it's really good for both teams, because I think Vakanainen's great. He's a good defense. Like
very smart.
He really blew me away this year coming in with his stint that he's played. I actually look forward to seeing him on this team, and we'll get to see him.
I think he'll play lots of minutes this year. If not this year, he will be a full-time Anaheim Duck next year, I'd hope.
He's definitely ready for it right now. So
absolutely. Moving on to the most controversial trade. I don't know. Claude Giroux to the Florida Panthers, along with Connor Bunnaman, German Rubitsov, and a 5th-round pick in 2024 in exchange for Owen Tippett, 3rd-round pick 2023. First-round pick 2024, with Giroux being 50% retained. What are you guys' thoughts? weird for Florida.
Yeah, obviously Florida were in a bit of a bind with the no move clause, and Giroux specifically saying, "I want Florida, and that's the only team that I'll waive it for." So we knew they weren't gonna get a win
high
here.
end,
yeah.
In a sense, they didn't do too bad.
I think
they didn't do bad.
Well.
Yeah, I don't think they did bad at all, but we knew it's not the ransom that they could have got had it been.
I don't know, man. That Owen Tippett, the way his beard just blends with that jersey, man. Like I think they should have given up a first for that.
Of Owen Tippett and Gritty, and it was like
father son.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, what's with that team and having dudes with red hair? Like everybody's
love
just,
it.
Brilliant.
It's unbelievable. They're like all day with that. Like it's crazy. Like Giroux's not gonna be there because like he like started the trend.
But started the trend of the GM forgetting his name.
It's tough to bite, but like you're getting Tippett. You're getting Tippett.
I love
He's like
Tippett,
a first round pick. I really like him. He brings a certain little feistiness to him, and
he brings
the big thing that we love to say on the podcast is he is right-handed, and this team actually needs that. They have a lot of great left-handed talent. Fairby, they can make great lines, they can make great duos, but they're all left-handed.
Yeah, he's like a legit dying breed. Owen Tippett.
It's just
players like him, right-handed, big, strong power forward who can score.
Yeah,
like that's
he can complement the top line. Possibly,
yeah, absolutely. Go check out my TikTok, and I even said where I think he could slot in on the Flyers a little bit. So, on Couch on Ice.
But yeah, what do you do? That's just how it is.
Yeah,
I guess.
I like it for both.
Much, I guess, for Florida's sake, if you don't sign Giroux, Rubtsov or German Rubtsov is somebody I've always liked. I don't know why. I think he's going to be a player. I don't know really how good, but he just seems like somebody that I always thought was going to make it.
He was highly touted early on as becoming an elite top 6 two-way guy, and he's definitely slipped, but I definitely think he could be a middle 6 guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'3".
He's big, strong, really good with his stick. So
and that Bunneman can really be a guy in the leads.
Bottom
honestly,
6, yeah, he looks like a decent two-way guy. Bottom.
You never know with prospects, man.
Absolutely.
But at least you get something back, right?
Yes.
Instead of just a rental, and I like that in the trade.
Yeah.
When it comes to someone.
Yeah, that definitely made the trade better
right?
for Florida for sure. Yeah. Moving on to our final trade that we've already talked enough about: Robert Hagg to the Florida Panthers in exchange for a 6th round pick to Buffalo. We don't even know what year it is. Actually, it's to be determined. So didn't know that was a year. So
just a 6th round pick
to
cover Aaron Ekblad.
Is it 2022? Okay.
So that what does that do it for all their picks? Do they only
Pretty
have
much.
that one their own 2nd round pick that year then?
I think so.
Yep.
They haven't given that up yet. Hey? Wow.
Insane. Nice. But yeah, nice depth guy for him. Will Ekblad is out. Now to get into the stuff we have not talked about, the stuff I've been waiting to talk about. Let's start off with Mark Giordano. We already knew he was going to be a Leaf, but he has a teammate coming with him, Colin Blackwell. In exchange, Seattle gets a 2nd round pick in 2022, 2nd round pick in 2023, and a 3rd round pick in 2024. I'll start off with you, Jordan. What are your thoughts on this deal?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
For the Leafs especially. I mean, Seattle, it's sad to settle for not a first. Obviously, you'd like a first for Gio. But in terms of the package they did get, it's good, right? They got
absolutely
high-end draft picks. They didn't settle too far, and I think that's big as well.
The Leafs said they really weren't going to move their first unless it was for a guy with term. They knew that. I think everyone else kind of knew it. If you wanted him to go to the Leafs, which seemingly Gio wanted to go, you got to do right by the shortest tenured captain in the NHL history. But yeah, no, and then Blackwell's a very nice depth piece too. So I love this for the Leafs. And Gio said he might come back next year with the Leafs and take his own
account, so it makes sense.
Hope so.
I think he will.
He
if I'm putting money on it, I would say yes, he's coming back next year as a Leaf. So.
It'd be if Calgary doesn't open the door, he will definitely. I think he'd be okay with like a
2 mil.
He seems like he's got
mil.
some gas left. Like take pretty small deal for a couple of years. Exactly like you said.
How crazy it'd be if he took a Spezza contract.
Gio,
he wouldn't, but
like
that would be nuts if he took a Spezza deal.
But it could be like a 1,750,000.
Yeah,
you know, like 1.75. Like that could really. Like,
I'm talking like 2
years,
or 3 million, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So, but like,
is a bargain.
You could take the discount. Like
no,
it is Toronto. Like it's one thing that I've never understood about Toronto is like you should almost just play this game where you just assume somebody's gonna come home and play hockey because like. Sorry, 75% of hockey fans are Toronto fans, and that's sadly a fact.
They're from Ontario around the team.
75% of Canadians are from Toronto too.
So. Yeah, exactly. Hey, no doubt. So, but for Seattle's side of this, I know it's not great that you're not getting a first-round pick, but the way I'm looking at it is that a lot of these guys are like, "Oh, I want 2023 picks now," because then you get to. I think it's more because they're getting to see these kids play more, and everybody's scared of that year off. And they're worried about these prospects that they picked in the last 2 years because they're a little bit clouded. They didn't get to see them. They don't know them as much as they would normally know them.
Right.
So I think you almost have an advantage in the Kraken here getting just a whack load of picks this year and next year because there is maybe that cloud still hanging over where you can strike more gold because guys didn't play or didn't get opportunities.
So far as well is that they have been sending their expiring assets on for picks because that's how you do a proper rebuild. Because like you said, the picks that are later on, they get more scouting done, they get more specific judgment into who they want to draft. Whereas right now they're just being sent picks for a draft that they have had a year, maybe less to really scout.
Yeah, no, as long as they do better in like an entry draft opposed to an expansion draft, I think they'll be fine. So
and also like the one thing they've done probably from the start is look into drafting and kids like that's probably
they didn't want
$10 million into that, into your scouting of that sort of shit because like what else do you put your money into off the bat, like
I think this
would be all for a team like Seattle because Seattle's a great market. Right?
Yeah.
We've said it time and time again on the podcast. Seattle rides hard for their sports.
Yeah,
obviously the Seahawks are massive. The Supersonics used to be huge. I don't know why they aren't in the league anymore.
Yeah. Actually, I found out why. I actually think I found out why. I don't know if it's 100% true because like I heard this on a different podcast that is hockey related. So take it with a grain of salt. But it was because they traded too many draft picks away and didn't have the money to afford the team anymore. With bringing in draft players because you make money off of them being good ticket sales, and they got bad and couldn't afford it, so they had to sell actually. So I thought that was really interesting, but I wouldn't be surprised if they come back because sports is a legit business now. So let's move on though to the Ottawa Senators upgrading their defense a little bit, getting Travis Hamonic. Yeah, Hamonic. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I was like, is it hammock or hammock for a second? Like,
hammock.
Freaking out for a second. Yeah, for
Travis Harmonica.
Yeah, Harmonica for a 3rd round pick in 2022, and it is Vancouver's. So if they get their pick back for
that's a good time.
Hamonic, which is a good.
I think it's a quality deal both ways.
Honestly, this is something Ottawa should have done at the start of the year in case of something like this happening, not until Shabbat gets hurt and then you trade for somebody. The reason Shabbat's hurt right now is because you played him 28 minutes a game all year, and that's luck strikes like that. I think I don't know. I think you're lucky if you can play that many minutes and somehow find a way not to get hurt because that's. You're like almost asking yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
Something's going to happen at some point.
Moving on to our next depth guy. I'm just going to throw it to Chase, and you can talk about this because I wonder how you feel.
I was like, oh, you are going to be so happy.
Troy Stecher going to LA Kings in exchange for a 7th round pick in 2022.
So disappointed we didn't.
I'm disappointed. How'd you not get at least
better than that?
A 6?
Really?
Like he's way better than that.
When I saw that trade, I was like, damn, I thought you were getting future considerations.
Oh, no way, man. I like Stecher.
I like Stecher going there, but I don't think he's worth a 6th. I think a 7th is generous.
Ooh, interesting. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think I would consider it a 5th round pick. Even
I would have barely given up considerations for Stecher.
Yeah.
No, people are not high on him because of the injuries and how it's been up and down and stuff like that. But
mistakes that he makes that are so careless.
I get it.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
It's nothing.
The body, but like
I love that Yzerman's not scared to like, get what you can get.
Props
like,
to Stevie Y.
It is what it is.
Well.
I'm just surprised. I thought he was getting signed.
Does not. I'm just surprised that's how highly the whole league looks at Stetcher.
I'm a little.
Like you didn't get like a 2023 sixth or a 2024 sixth. Like you can nab that off of somebody.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's kind of disappointing, but it's a tough.
If you come to me offering Stetcher, I'm gonna say, all right, here, I'll offer future considerations. That's it.
Fair enough.
Doesn't look like we didn't retain any salary, so maybe that's why I'm confused. Because at a retained salary, making min league,
I don't think it's a bad move. All being
probably be a six
for LA. I think that brings in a decent body in LA.
Yep, fair enough.
He's an extra guy.
Let's move on to the player we all knew was about to get traded. Just wait and see what team. Travis Dermot going to the Vancouver
I thought he was
Canucks.
going to be in the Geo deal, but it turns out they had a separate deal in mind.
Yeah, and getting a third-round pick in 2022 for him. So Vancouver just giving away the third that they got for Hamonic. So it's an upgrade in Vancouver, right? Yeah, I love this for Vancouver.
Does that mean Vancouver's going to get Sean Walker? Yeah. Ooh, and then they'll play... He's gonna have to go. Like it looks like unless they're gonna take him over Roy and trade Roy or something. But
one of those two will probably eventually have to go with Dersey playing as good as he is.
But
Dermot.
I mean, this is gonna offer Dermot more ice time, which I think is obviously
he needs to play every night. Like he's not progressing playing every third game. Like I understand the woes that Leaf fans had with him and the mistakes he made, but I think he brings a lot more good than bad.
No, I completely agree. He's a great skater.
He's all right.
With his passes. He does make the odd careless mistake, but that
he's got a little bit of the Jake Gardner gene in him, but nothing too strong.
He's young. You can shake those off. We've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah, so I love this for Vancouver.
Me too. I think it's a great deal.
And
they didn't
Leafs just selling cap, so... but moving on, this one was the most interesting deal, I thought, for sure. Tampa Bay Lightning acquiring Nick Paul. It is 44.5% salary retention in exchange for Matthew Joseph and a 4th-round pick in 2024.
Stanley Cup winning Matthew Joseph. Wow.
I love this deal for Ottawa almost.
Man, I can't believe they actually did it. That's dope. Like... when I brought up them retaining Nick Paul and having Tampa Bay in there, I didn't actually think they were actually going to do it. Like, that's awesome. This is going to work, I think. Like, I like him on Tampa Bay, Nick Paul. Like,
I think he's going to be fantastic on Tampa, but I think Matthew Joseph is going to do awesome in Ottawa next season and to close out the season. I think he's going to steal a middle six role comfortably.
I can't remember who it was against. I think it was Game 6 of their... series, but I just remember the pass he made. It was a long stretch pass and they scored right off of it, and it was just fantastic.
In the cup final there when Killer was out, I think
it might have been.
I want to say that's what it was, because Joseph was fantastic when
he was
when Killer got injured last year. So love this trade for both teams, though. It's fantastic.
I think both teams get off what they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in how Matthew Joseph will handle that opportunity in Ottawa.
I think he's
really hope he grabs it by the balls and just pulls.
I really do too.
Because he's definitely used to being more of a benefiting from playing with good players, so maybe he can take the reins a little bit and that excels his progression, because
he's so
sometimes
fast.
That's what you need to make yourself better.
He's confident too, which gives him all the purpose.
Absolutely. Moving on to the one I scratched my head about, and we discussed before the podcast. But Chase is like saying that they should have given a first up for him. Apparently, Scott Wedgwood to the Stars for AZ getting a conditional 4th. Obviously, Chase, I know you're not saying give up a first.
Yeah, but it turns into a 3rd if Dallas makes the playoffs this year.
Yes. I'll let you guys discuss this one. I don't really have
much. Yeah, man, no, I love this. I don't know
I
what
like
it was.
too.
When I was looking around for them possibly moving out Wedgwood or something, Dallas was really the only spot I found that I liked for him to actually go, because Dallas, I was assuming, was making a move. Like I was assuming Holtby was probably out or something was going on there, and it never happened. He got hurt, but I love this. I can see him in a Stars jersey. I think I did an armchair GM with the Dallas Stars, and I had him traded to the Dallas Stars. So I love it. I can't wait to see him play. Honestly, Ottinger needs a break, and they can't.
Yeah.
They have that Sealer, like he's like brand new, so it's kind of. I'm all about playing young goalies and getting guys their starts and their opportunities, but this is not the time for the Stars. This playoff hunt's intense. Nobody's given up. Like nobody's given up this year for this playoff hunt.
If the Stars do make the playoffs, having that third string goalie that you can genuinely rely on is massive, especially for a team where you've got Holtby that's already got some nagging injuries. You don't know, maybe he'll go down with something, and then you're riding Ottinger and Wedgewell, right? I think that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So I think it just gives them that little bit more of a cushion, especially with the history of Braden Holtby and his injuries.
Yeah, no, I don't dislike it by any means. Like, I love Wedgwood. I kind of want him to go to a team where he can be a legit backup. Yeah. I didn't really want him to be a third goalie. That's my biggest issue is, like, Holtby's still there. Like, I get he's injured and everything, but, like, it doesn't sound like he's out for long. He's, I don't love him being a third goalie when Holtby's here, but when he's the backup, I love it. It's just a weird situation, I guess, right?
For sure.
Moving on to, I'm the most stunned about this. I didn't think they could get this much.
Just by the way, Holtby's just literally considered day-to-day right now.
Yeah,
so, like,
exactly.
Who knows?
So that's why I'm like very.
That'd be pretty rattling if he ended up on
waivers, right? That's the thing. He might go on waivers very easily.
I don't know. I hope he gets like at least 2-3 starts, because I want to see him play. Honestly, on the team, because he's been awesome. Like, I think not that long ago we were talking about the best goalie since the start of the new year. He was like one of them. I think some of the top 5 stats and stuff.
Yeah, in the first just 4 or 5 games there, he was amazing. So jumping on to our next one, Seattle being very active, which didn't shock me, but did in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
But this
one shocked me a little bit. I didn't think they would actually move him.
I didn't think they would get that for him, but
and the whole time I didn't think Nashville would get a defenseman, because I'm not
absolutely
sure
but that
why.
defenseman being Jeremy Loizon in exchange for a 2022 second-round pick.
Yeah, from what it sounds like, the Kraken didn't necessarily want to move on from him, but the Preds was offered too much.
I think that's the only way. No. I agree with Seattle.
Like Loizon hasn't looked super good, and he's been really getting shit on this year. But like that's just this year, and he's like young.
He was great.
I don't know. I understand they don't tweet stats about progression and stuff like that. They only tweet about, hey, this period of time he's terrible. But no, there's progression there for him. He's worth like, it's Nashville. If Nashville's trading for a defenseman, everybody should be like, shit, we fucking missed him. Fuck. Like, how good is this guy gonna be? So, yeah, probably a good move for Nashville. He can play both sides as well.
I think it will be a good move for Nashville. It is a lot to pay right now. Like you said, I think he can definitely jump in and play well and outplay what they offered, but just didn't expect it. I really did not expect it. That's it. And especially for what they got for this next player, I'm even more shocked. So let's move on to Winnipeg Jets reacquiring Mason Appleton for a 2023 4th-round pick. Now, this is a fleece from the Jets. An absolute fleece.
Yeah.
I don't know how you give him up for a 4th.
Expansion pick for a 4th-round pick.
I at least thought maybe 2/3.
Yeah. Yeah. Third and a 4th.
I would think
a bottom second or 2/3 at least. What I would have gone with.
I'd want 2 picks and one of them to be a 3rd. Now we can negotiate on the second pick, obviously, being like a 3rd,
but at least
whatever. Starts with a 3rd to me. Like, I don't. Appleton's a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. He's only 25 or 22.
Yeah, maybe Seattle's got a little behind the scenes. Like, we'll help you with some cap issues there.
Yeah.
You look like you're in some trouble.
Yeah, I don't. Definitely. It's just baffled by this trade. I truly am baffled by this trade.
It wasn't even this year's pick. Next year is 20.
So
4th round pick. Sorry.
Very weird. But
let's get to the biggest trade of the day.
The biggest trade of the day, the rights to Jack McBain going to the Arizona Coyotes in exchange for a second-round pick, Vancouver's.
The Coyotes let go of one of their 100 picks? I
know,
believe it.
One of those 5 I thought they were going to do.
Oh, they had to. They had to.
Surely they don't go into the draft with that many picks.
Or they don't come out of the draft with all of them.
At least
right?
Come out
at bare minimum, they wouldn't have had all 5. But I don't know why he isn't signing in Minnesota. I don't know the reason.
Yeah.
So what makes me ask the question, which I think is valid, if you said no to Minnesota, why in the fuck would you say yes to Arizona? To get minutes?
I think it's because of minutes. Like, that's like,
I'd rather
you
go to
definitely
Seattle.
have a chance. Like if you do anything in the preseason, like they're probably going to be able to play you.
Seems like.
Yeah, I just like, I don't know.
No, it's a bit of a weird.
That's
one.
It's a good question to ask. Like, if he does go to free agency and walks anywhere, like.
The second that they gave up for him as well is Vancouver's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, weird, interesting.
Weird,
if he signs great for Arizona, I think it's a good deal. But if he doesn't, then it's a terrible deal, obviously.
They just lost the second to nothing.
Yeah, so risky, I think.
Yeah, I hear they're signing him. Is what I understand.
I don't imagine they won't. I don't
think it's out yet.
Well, I'm just why no to Minnesota?
Yeah, it was an odd destination. But yeah, he's apparently, like, what they said was that he's progressed fairly slow through Boston, and the chances of him actually playing in the NHL next year are probably slim. But hey, he's like a 6'4". He's a big guy.
He is.
Maybe he just needs the warm weather of AZ.
Yeah, it could happen, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Couldn't fathom going up cold.
Keep your muscles nice and loose.
Yeah. Literal icy veins. So. Moving on to the Penguins just getting the moon blockbuster incoming, getting Nathan Bullio from the Jets for a conditional 7. That's how you get a meat and potatoes player, not a first in Slamatic. That's how you get a guy who can cross-check someone in the face and not get a penalty.
Yeah, I guess for the Penguins, that's as hard as you guys get. Medium hard player, not really a hard player at all.
Yeah.
Not even really considered a defensive D-man or really anything. No, that's fucking decent. It's decent that they got
something
back.
Like, I'm fine with it, obviously. I think the conditions are, if like we would go to the conference final or something like that, we give the 7th. If we don't, then we keep nothing. So awesome trade because we get nothing from him. Unless he blows us, unless he like.
Yeah, he has to play in 50% of the games, and they have to win 3 playoff series. So
they have to win 3 playoff series. I thought it was only 2. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's for free. Unless we.
And he's hurt. Well, he's hurt right now. Hey, so like, it's not like you're actually getting somebody right now.
We don't need him right now, anyways.
Yeah,
right?
He's needed in the playoffs. That's it.
Yep. Yeah. Moving on to the Arizona Coyotes, adding a little bit of cap so they can have less players on their team in that arena so they can fit them all. Getting a 4th-round pick to the Jets in 2022 for Brian Little and prospect Nathan Smith.
I mean, I think this is great both ways. Like you said, the Coyotes need cap. They need to get off the cap.
They need to get off. Yeah, they need to get up.
The Jets are a real hockey team, so they need to shed cap.
Yeah, so I that's all I got. They're not really super keen on Shea Weber anymore because of this. I know that. So.
Nathan Smith, right-handed.
Yeah, I know nothing about him.
I don't either.
Right-handed. He was 3rd-round pick by the Winnipeg Jets in 2018. So they're getting like their own draft pick back. He plays with the Minnesota State University. Looks like he's fucking lights it up. 49 points, 34 games. So
love it.
Seems like a piece.
Great.
Decent piece.
Good for both because I don't think he was in Winnipeg's plans, and Arizona obviously don't have plans. So
Arizona will take anything.
Yeah. Let's move on to the most painful trade for Jordan.
Painful, but I've been speaking it into existence, man.
Yeah, Washington Capitals getting Marcus Johansson.
Oh, okay, never mind this one. I thought you were talking about Marc-Andre Fleury. Never mind. Yeah, no, this one's painful. Yeah.
Daniel in exchange for Daniel Sprong, a 4th-round pick in 2022 and a 6th-round pick in 2023. Jordan,
Where is
you have to start it
I
off.
love the acquisition. Like, I woke up, this was the first thing I saw. I went, awesome. Yes.
I saw Johansson for picks. That's all I saw.
Yeah,
I was like, great.
I saw the Capitals just posted Marcus Johansson.
Love that.
Just him. All I saw was him, and I went, yes, fuck yeah. Slid to the next slide. Daniel Sprong. I went, no.
Yowie. I fucking love Yowie.
I get it.
He's going back home. That's dope.
I
He was
get
great with him.
On the Caps part, Daniel Sprong hasn't been in our plans. He hasn't been playing nearly enough minutes, and
hasn't been playing good enough
woeful defensively. He's a great offensive cannon. He's lights out when it comes to his shot, but defensively, at least this season, not good enough. Especially for a guy who's pretty big. I think he's 6'1", maybe bigger.
Well, yeah, I could have told you that. He couldn't hack fucking 5 shifts with Crosby, so defensively, no, definitely not. Yeah. He's got the offensive skill, but like it's just this is not like the same player, just different ages. Like, and one's a center pretty much.
Oh, Yoey's a beauty, man.
Yeah, we're bringing him back.
I think they nabbed him, dude. Like that.
I'm happy with the acquisition, but I'm disappointed with the assets we gave up.
I bet you're disappointed that Sprong's gone because like that's kind of.
I
wish we just. It would have been nice for that to work out. He's right-handed and stuff. It would have like made the lineup quite perfect. But
if you listen,
Yoey's gonna do way better than
Sprong.
him. So.
I like Daniel Sprong. I think he's a great depth piece that could have been a great top 6 winger for us.
Yeah, I still think he can do it. And I mean, if he doesn't with Seattle, then.
Yeah, Seattle now I wish him the best of luck. He's got more than the opportunity now. So.
Absolutely. Let's move on then. Or
surprised he only got a 4th and like a 6th. Kind of thought he might get
I think
a 3rd rounder, honestly.
I'm not
the old
surprised.
Yoey, especially retained fully. That's kind of, but they gave up Daniel Sprong. I guess
Daniel Sprong for me
makes. They gave up random assets for him.
Sprong is worth at least a high 3rd in my mind, if not a low 2nd.
Yeah, I agree. I think a high 3rd.
I wouldn't go that. I'd probably be like a 4th round pick, man. Like 3rd, maybe.
I think he's a 3rd round pick all
max.
Day.
So
all day a 3rd. So let's move on though to the. I don't know how to explain this one. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm kind of happy for him, I guess. But Minnesota Wild getting some goaltending help. The Marc-Andre Flower.
I have been speaking into existence.
Yes. And in exchange, the Chicago Blackhawks get a conditional 2nd round pick. It becomes a 1st round pick if they win the first 2 rounds, and he plays and he gets 4 wins. I think it was.
So he has to get 4 wins in the first 2 rounds, and they have to make the Western Conference Final
for it to be a 1st.
Yeah, so, in order to change it to a 1st.
And it was 50% retained, right? Was it?
I believe yes.
Yeah. Okay. What are your thoughts, guys? I think
I like it.
I like the
whole condition thing. That's one of those condition things that I really. That's perfect. You know,
I love this for Minnesota. I'm slightly disappointed that Chicago didn't get straight up a 1st for him, regardless of the condition of it.
You know what though? For what they got,
people don't like goalies.
I
don't like trading for goalies.
If you told Chicago in 1 year they would get Marc-Andre Fleury for a 7th,
that's
and
a
trade
good
him
point.
For that.
That's a good point. Obviously they win because of what they got Fleury for. I have to say I'm slightly disappointed. I expected a 2022 1st round pick for him, and I didn't expect him to move.
And that's kind of why I brought up the whole Brandon Hegel thing earlier with Dallas and somebody else, I guess in general, not going and giving them this year's 1st round pick because like Chicago didn't get this year's 1st round pick here. Like, was kind of strange, but they do have like obviously like Patrick Kane and several other people they could dangle for 1st round.
You know what?
So
they could also
they might make the draft interesting.
They could also trade up on draft night. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. But I think Marc-Andre Fleury is going to do great in Minnesota. But now
I love that.
Love that aspect. Now going on to the Wild trade, I kind of dislike. Oh, what's that?
Quickly, just with Marc-Andre Fleury, something I wanted to say is that I wanted these guys to get like a Giroux. I thought they really needed like a big piece like on center. But in all reality, if you can add somebody who can steal you games, that elite goalie, if he can be that guy for you, I think it can bring just as good. Especially like I've said, the way Goudreau and like Hartman have played center for these guys. Like
reward them for playing good in your top six.
Reward them with playing time, unlike the New York Rangers are doing this year with their defense.
Marc-Andre Fleury isn't just a veteran goaltender. He's a multiple-time Stanley Cup winner.
He's a Hall of Fame goalie.
Exactly.
Straight up.
Most importantly, you can confidently say he's a massive part of the Stanley Cup winning Penguins teams that he was a part of. Massive. They don't win it without him having stellar performances.
We don't have the team we have without Fleury.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. Like, as much as Crosby did, like, I know Crosby's the show. Gino did so much for us too. Letang.
Yeah,
all those guys, like, those are guys, I get it. But Fleury did it for us through thick and thin. And I mean thick.
Yeah.
Like, there were some moments where fans were like, this guy shouldn't even be in the NHL. And I'm like,
oh, yeah, he was.
It's a simple. Yeah, like, it's as simple as, like, your team needs to create this, not the atmosphere and the play in front of this goalie and that compatibility to make that goalie be able to do this. Like, like it's not like it's just the goalie just goes nuts and everybody carries along with them. Like you're saying, like those Malkin and Crosby, like they changed games, they picked them up out of the grave, but it's because they can do that because at times the goalie bails you out. He's there for you at those certain moments. And that's one thing I've learned so much about goaltending with like Chris Osgood. Like you may not need the best goalie, but he needs to know and somehow be able to save those key spots. And that's what you might get out of this. And you might be able to get to that round. And then Chicago gets their first round pick because simply Marc-Andre Fleury stole a couple games. And how many games like can a line steal on this Minnesota team? Like that top line's unreal.
Well,
Joel Eriksson Ekline is almost better defensively and like impactful really wise, like So and then Fiala Boldy, like they just added another one to their repertoire, and they're adding a fourth line too. That's getting better with these acquisitions. So
absolutely.
They're gonna be hard to beat, boys.
They are gonna be a hard out. I think no matter who they play, it'll be 6-7. And you mentioned Middleton. I'm just jumping into it now. This trade, I don't dislike it. I hate who they gave up. If you listen to pod, you'll know that. But Minnesota Wild getting Jacob Middleton from San Jose Sharks in exchange for Capo Kakkonen and a 5th-round pick in 2022. I like Middleton. I like the depth guy. Like, I think he's going to be fine. Very solid. But man, I loved Kakkonen.
Kakkonen was a big part of their future, it seems.
Yeah, you should be excited for this guy getting to go to the Sharks, and
I'm pissed.
Maybe he can become something.
Yeah, he could be.
I said yesterday they don't have a fucking goalie, and then they steal Kakkonen for nothing. Like, okay, Middleton's not nothing, but realistically,
Middleton was going for a pick, essentially.
He was going for a 2nd-round pick, which is great, but you got Kakkonen for him. That's amazing for San Jose and where they are.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, this trade. They're just like, both of these guys wanted a 2nd and a 3rd-round pick for these two guys, or a 2nd and a decent prospect or something, and they just looked at each other like, we're both not going to get what we want.
No.
Let's give each other that.
So
I get a defense one that definitely is going to play and help me in the Stanley Cup playoffs, so I'll give you a 5th-round pick. So no, I like it for Minnesota. I think
I like it for this year, but I hate it for any years after. Any years after, it's bad.
I don't think they're gonna sign. I don't think he'll be with the team unless they don't keep Goligoski, which wouldn't be surprising. Maybe they can get Middleton cheaper than Goligoski.
That's a good point.
Which we will, but like what I'm saying is much cheaper because Goligoski is gonna have to go from 5 to like $1 million with the cap with their bios going out. So like maybe this is a long-term fix. You know, it's Bill Guerin. He's not an idiot. He's not
an idiot.
Straight rent.
We've seen Bill Guerin
pull
strings out of everywhere. It seems the guy, if he makes a move, he's already thought 10 steps ahead in what's going to happen.
Yeah, like Chicago's not getting a 1st-round pick unless we actually do something like sensible stuff. So this is interesting.
It's interesting.
Kind of what they're doing.
Yeah.
I like it for this playoff run, but next year I'm good.
It's not super fire, but hopefully Fleury can bail you out and balance it out because you haven't had a goalie bailing you out.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one we got here, as Chase kind of already mentioned it in a way, is the Rangers just saying F you to your young defenseman, getting Justin Braun from the Philadelphia Flyers for a 3rd-round pick in 2023. That's pretty much exactly what I thought he'd go for. Maybe
I thought he'd go
lower
for
second.
Maybe a 3rd and like a 5th.
Yeah,
I thought he'd go for this year's 3rd. I thought.
I definitely thought
that would be the. I thought that would be the. Oh yeah, okay, we'll do it.
I would agree with that for sure.
But it is Justin Braun. He's not like.
I think it's a great move
off or anything. So
as well, though, right? Like obviously the Flyers got what they wanted out of Braun, but New York got a great.
It's great for New York's playoff run, but I just don't see why they. I just hate that they did it because I wanted to see Braden Schneider or somebody play like.
You talk about him like he's a mini Trouba, and then you're not gonna play him. That's weird. Yeah. That's very weird when your defense, the style of their defense is very much built around Trouba. Like if you actually watch them play, they are nothing defensively without Trouba. With the way he hits people, forces them to the outside so well. Like I know he's slower.
Fox is a decent defensive guy, but when it comes to Adam Fox, obviously his asset is his unreal offensive production.
It's his passing.
And his passing,
and
right?
Skating.
His defense is solid enough that it's not something you're always talking about as a liability. I wouldn't say it's a liability, but like you said, when it comes to the Rangers, when you think defense, Jacob Trouba is the guy that.
Every time I watch them, if he's not running around and zooming, they are shitty defensively. Yeah, they are so shitty. So, just weird.
The only thing, I'll bring up the next trade while I say this, but why wouldn't you go for a Joshua Brown, somebody that kid could maybe play better than, or you play him one of the playoff games and you see how Schneider does, and then you're okay. If he doesn't, then you're okay with Brown, but at least give him some confidence. You're not playing him with Braun on the team, that's for sure, right?
He's not, unless there's an injury. Schneider's not getting in.
So that's all I gotta say. So Joshua Brown, he ended up going to Boston with a 7th conditional pick for Zach Senyenson, the former 1, 2, 3 first overall combination picks there.
Now it's just Jakob Zaboral left, isn't it?
Nope, DeBrusk.
DeBrusk, I don't think he's gone.
He's not gone yet officially, unless he
signed an extension, but he hasn't been traded yet.
Which we'll get into.
There's another new trade, boys. Oh boy.
Anyways,
but so Zach Senyenson, this year's 2022 5th-round pick from Boston to Ottawa for Joshua Brown.
I love this deal for Boston.
I believe it's conditional as well. The 7th round becomes a 6th if Senyenson skates 5 games with Ottawa. So
I don't see
the end of this year.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just play him in the last 4 games just to say fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends how much more hurt the Ottawa Senators
that's true. They might not have a choice. They might not have a choice.
That's what I think. That's what that condition means. It's
if you get real fucked, we'll help you out a bit more.
I'm gonna make this condition so we hopefully don't get injured and I don't have to give up this pick. Yeah. If it's the case, then I guess that's the year. That was the year.
Was the year.
Getting slapped in the face.
But who do you guys think won this deal? I think it's
I think Ottawa does. I think Senyenson is a role guy and they'll figure out how to use him, but I don't know if they'll be able to really use him.
Both. I think both teams get something that they're happy with.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's
Boston gets a depth guy that can play center. That's not too bad at all. I think certainly a 4th or a 3rd liner. And like you said, Ottawa gets a guy that maybe they can mold into something that is a everyday NHLer.
Yeah, Josh Brown's a defenseman, by the way. He's 6'5", right-handed.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Logan Brown.
No,
he went. But Josh Brown. He's 28. He's somewhat trustworthy. I used to trust him a little bit more until this last year. I expected a little bit more out of that, but exactly, Boston will make him better.
How often do you see Boston take these really big physical guys and make them look good?
Yeah,
I've seen the glimpse. Like I said, I don't like him as much this year, but I've seen these. I've really liked them before. Mm-hmm. So if they can pull that out of him, he's better than Connor Clifton, and that's what they're going for here.
Yeah.
So
this is a player I actually pegged for the Flyers to dive hard into in the off season when I did my armchair, because I think he can really help that depth. with being 6'5", very physical, can be defensively responsible.
Missing Braun.
Yeah, exactly.
Guaranteed missing Braun now.
Guaranteed now. So like that's where I was like, it seemed like good fit. But Boston, I think, might be just as good. So
yeah,
if not
Boston
better.
Makes so much sense.
Well, they have Clifton on that year next year, so they might not be able to do it.
I don't think they'll re-sign him. I don't, because I think he might ask for round 3, like Mike Riley.
Who knows where? Yeah, like exactly. Like what does he do? Maybe he does quite a bit for him, and all.
I think he'll
out of their price range.
I think him and Mike Riley might be the third line, so that'd be decent. But let's get into interesting deal. Chase, before I say this trade, how happy are you that Holland isn't your GM?
Holland?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Oilers here.
You're talking about the Oilers.
Brett Kulak going to the Edmonton Oilers for William Legason and a conditional second-round pick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't see it on Cap Friendly. That's why.
I'm on Sportsnet. That's why.
I remember, but I know when I did my Montreal armchair, I traded Kulak, I think, for a 4th or a 5th.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was okay.
We all completely agreed that was extremely fair for a depth move. So this move baffled me.
Me too. I do like Kulak. I like Kulak. I'm looking right now.
I don't like that expensive.
I don't see it right here. Bit complicated, but the Edmonton second rounder this year is tied up in the Duncan Keith trade. If he plays top 4 minutes through the next 3 rounds, it goes to Chicago. They do have a 2023 second round pick. We'll see. That was the price Montreal was looking for from Eric Angles.
A really funny comparison. Edmonton paid more for Brett Kulak than Minnesota did for Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yep. Literally, pretty much. unless Minnesota go on a run, they did.
Yeah, unless that condition goes off, like.
And Legason's been playing in the NHL a bit this year. Like I know it was because of injuries, but like he's not a bad player.
No. Yeah, he's got some experience. He's a good guy. Like
he'll replace Kulak with ease.
Quite a bit of quite a bit of woes there. So.
Especially with where Montreal are at.
He's also like super mini, so Martin St. Louis will
love him.
Do his Master Jedi.
Master Jedi, yes.
Yeah.
Show him all the ropes. But let's move on to the Leafs giving up a whopper for Alex Biega future considerations.
Yep.
Sending Biega to the Predators and getting future considerations to Leaf. Just a roster spot.
Biega to the Predators, hey?
Yeah, just a roster spot because the Leafs got defensemen they can use for him. So
makes Toronto down to 48 active contracts.
Oh yeah, right, because they did that other move too. The Predators also sent
Frederick Allard to the Kings.
Frederick Allard to the Kings.
Yeah.
For Braden Burke, which Frederick Allard is somebody I really like. I don't know why.
I like
more of an offensive D-man, right-handed. It looks like the Kings.
He was a 3rd-round pick in 2016. He has 5 points in 36 games this season, whereas Braden Burke is a 25-year-old. He has 17 points in 31 AHL games.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
yeah, Braden Burke. This was his first. Braden's Burke. This was his first year with not the Arizona Coyotes. He started there. He played there for like super long with the Tuscan Roadrunners. So that was his first year with LA. Allard, like you said, didn't get very many points. Having an off year, apparently, from what I've heard, which is why this is kind of going down. But it looks like LA is a good team. Like their AHL team's a good team, so they're just looking for a little bit of a boost, honestly. And obviously, Biega's just filling for Allard being gone. So that's what Nashville did there with those moves.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on since there's a very minor trade, and I'll say this trade and I'll leave it to you, Chase, as is the Red Wings sending Nick Leddy to the St. Louis Blues and Luke Witkowski in exchange for Oscar Sundqvist, Jake Wallman, and a 2nd-round pick.
Dude, we got Jake Wallman.
That is fantastic from the Wings.
Dude, it's so sick. It's so sick.
How happy are you? Know what? Crazy enough, I think I'm happier than you because he's not a Penguin. Because Leddy isn't a Penguin.
I don't understand this. How can the league continue to let Steve Yzerman get away with this?
This is so much, eh? Like, Letty's fucking pretty good. He'll probably be pretty good. Like, we got to think about how great he was with the Islanders, with those playoff runs and stuff.
Consistently fleecing the other GMs. He is playing chess, and they are playing checkers. They don't understand his game, and he is just playing.
You're being too modest about your GM, Chase.
Fleecing everyone.
This was a cap dump for St. Louis in a sense, because in reality, they were gonna have to drop this Oscar Sundqvist contract. Probably he's been slowly fading out of their plans, which kind of sucks because I love him on that team. But you're not wrong. Like, we are fleecing, but like everybody's paying up pretty hard.
I think you're being too modest, as Rhylan says. I'm at the point. If I'm a GM in this league,
man, I love it.
It's unreal. I'm not picking up the phone.
If we're talking about this season alone and talking about the Red Wings side of it, I'm not talking about St. Louis side, so ignore it. I would take Jake Wallman over Nick Leddy in Detroit any day, straight up.
Any day.
Yeah,
straight up. Like if I'm the Wings, I almost offer Leddy for Wallman straight up, which is crazy to say because of how his season went. So that's why it's just so good.
Yeah, baffling. Congrats. That's all I can say.
Dude, that looks like super decent. Like, it really does.
You got a defenseman that you wanted to, a forward who's got some snarl, and a second-round pick. You gave up a second.
Yeah, like Wallman is a guy that you can actually play. Like, we're not like kind of half pretending with Yo Levy right now that he should be playing, and hoping that Stahl can be as good as possible, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, wow, I'm just shocked that we were able to get my boy Sundqvist. Like, this is somebody I wanted, like an actual player I wanted us to get.
Understandably, a great depth.
Yeah, he's great. He's got some cup experience. Got a cup under his belt. He's big and strong, and imagine a line with him and Ernie.
Oh, dude, I'll put it. So the trade was Sundqvist, Wallman, and a second-round pick. Was that, what year was that?
2023.
Next year. Yeah, next year. Hey. Oh yeah, right, because they gave theirs to the Rangers. So I did a armchair not that long ago. Nick Leddy, half retained. Carter Rowney, and this year's Detroit 4th-round pick. I gave up just for fucking Oscar Sundqvist and a fucking prospect.
Wow.
So you could say I'm fairly.
You're basically Stevie Y.
Yeah,
I'm basically stealing.
You're in his head.
I think he's stealing. I think he's stealing.
Wallman.
A lot because I got
all three is a W.
I gave him extra things, and that's what I was thinking for Nick Leddy's value. So
yeah, exactly.
Wowie.
Crazy, eh? Crazy. But let's move on to Jordan's most surprising trade. At least before the pod, it was.
I would certainly say so.
Colorado Avalanche getting Arturi Lehkonen in Montreal getting Justin Barron and a second-round pick in 2024. What? Lehkonen is 50% retained. They actually gave up Barron. I'm stunned.
And for Lehkonen,
I love
Lehkonen. He's a guy I've been saying for weeks I want on the Capitals. I love him. But I don't love giving up Justin Barron for him. That hurts.
No.
That's like you're cutting off your own foot just to grow a little toe.
Colorado in a nutshell with this trade. Big L. That is such a big L. Like, I love Lehkonen. I think they'll extend him. Obviously, he's an RFA. So that's nice. It's just.
Surely you could have done picks instead of Barron. You could have done a second. I would have.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would have rather given up.
Second and a third,
Yeah.
Right, and that's a lot.
I would have given up my 2025 second, and
it is a 2024 second. It's pretty deep second, but that's a.
Barron's so good though.
I'm high on first and a second round pick. He'll do fantastic.
It's a lot.
Yeah, he's gonna play next year. Might play now. Might play this year. They probably might play right now because they're just so hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Seem like they don't. Though Chris Weidman has really been doing good for them.
He's been amazing, absolutely. Yeah. Before I move off this for a second, I just want to give a hats off to Kent Hughes for his first trade deadline ever. And he has done outstanding. Now, I know it's easier to tear down. It's way easier to tear down than to build up. We all know that. But you still got to do the teardown correctly. And he has so far. So hats off, I have to say it. Kent Hughes. Love it. Love it. Moving on, though, to Chase's favorite Coyote, going to the Capitals. Johann Larson going to the Washington Capitals for a third-round pick in 2023.
Nice.
I mean,
the Caps?
Caps,
yeah, the Caps.
man.
What? Dude,
Yeah,
the Caps.
I love it for the Caps.
These guys are ready.
Yeah, I think this is a win-win. The Capitals get a fantastic bottom guy that can play wing and center. He's solid at center as well. And obviously Arizona gets a third, which Arizona's pick hungry. Give them all the picks.
Absolutely. They just want to take all the seats to give to their fans in the draft.
They're going to fill their arena with each seat as a draft pick.
Just from this year too.
Yeah.
What was the third?
2023.
In 2023 third.
So
I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Arizona could have got maybe a tiny bit more, but I'm not upset about it by any means. We didn't
throw Daniel Sprong out to the Wolves in this trade. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. No, that's beauty. I love Johann Larson.
Love him.
Me too. Great depth player.
The actual Yowie, Marcus Johansson.
Yeah.
Those are perfect compliment pieces.
And you know what? A big thing is Johansson's good at defense. I'm happy to bring a good defender into the Capitals organization.
Plus, having him be able to play center is huge. So huge. Just to have that option. But yeah, I love it for the Caps. Great move. And Arizona just getting a pick, like you said. Next, we got player. Second time he's been traded this year. Zach Sanford going to the Winnipeg Jets for a 5th-round pick to Ottawa.
Nice. Going for it all. Putting all his chips in here, Chevy.
Yeah.
Give up that 4th and that 5th. Let's go.
And
I'm making the
playoffs.
I'm
in favor of, I think this is cheap for Zach Sanford, but I'm big for Ottawa moving on from him. I'll admit I'm not high on Zach Sanford. When I watch him play, he is extremely lazy.
I get it. I totally get it.
I don't he's boring to watch. He's so lazy.
Is that are you saying that with the St. Louis time as added? Are you saying that just Ottawa?
Yeah.
Because if it was just Ottawa, I wonder if it was because it's Ottawa.
Yeah,
but I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's just you can't find a home right now. Hopefully he sticks in the Jets. Maybe
good luck in the Jets, but I don't think he's gonna be an NHLer. I'll be honest.
Ooh, hot take. Interesting.
Hot take, but
I think he's pretty good. He'll help, especially with the sounds of Cop leaving. So
yeah,
I hope so. True. I'd like to be proven wrong.
Where let's get into the next one. Andrew Cogliano moving away from the Sharks, going to the Colorado Avalanche for a fifth round pick, apparently. A 5th-round pick in 2024 is just a typo, but they called it a fifth pick. So
yeah, the best kind of 5th.
The best kind of 5th, a double. So I heard.
I can't believe Cogliano is still in the league. How long has this guy been in the league?
Long. Yeah, he had an Iron Man streak.
Yeah, I'm so sad he got out of it.
No kidding. Right? What a penalty killer.
Nearly 2 decades.
He's a hell of a penalty killer, and he's 35, 4, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is a good move for Colorado. It's just
a great
defensively responsible. He's actually fairly quick for his age. I mean, he was really fast when he was younger, but he's pretty quick still for his age.
Yeah, he's 35, 36 now. Yeah, and he still hasn't lost at all.
Yeah, good trade for.
No, I think great move both ways. You bring Colorado's a team contending, and they bring in a great vet who, like you said, is responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. Next here, we got just another depth move with the Montreal Canadiens. New Jersey Devils sending the Hamburglar to the New Jersey Devils for Nate Schnarr. Now, Nate Schnarr, I believe, is 24 years old and playing with the...
Or Andrew Hammond. The guy just got new pads.
Yeah, man.
He just got some new pads.
I love it because I think he'll play. I think they've been very disappointed in John Gillies the past couple weeks, and they want to just give him a break and send him down, which I completely agree.
And Nate Schnarr's a name that we've been hearing for 2 years now, I think, that they've been wanting to move on from him.
Yeah, it's kind of just been always there and not really made
He hasn't just suited the organization, and they haven't fallen in love with him either, so...
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm not surprised to finally see his name in a trade.
Yeah, neither am I. But Next trade here, we got Vancouver trading Tyler Mott. Now, this one's shocking as hell. This literally was posted a minute after the deadline ended. So, as we know, it's ended for 13 minutes now. So, they get New York Rangers getting Tyler Mott for a 4th-round pick in 2023. That's ridiculous that's what they got.
I think that they could have got a little more out of him.
I think this is a very big L in Vancouver. I would have rather kept him and tried to re-sign him than trade him for a 4th. Any day.
I think you could have gotten at least a 3rd and another pick.
I think
like holy shit.
I think
they got a 4th-round pick for Mott.
That's 4th for Tyler Mott.
Where do you go again, sorry?
Rangers. Great team to go to. I mean, team that got
going to be
odd for them.
Their offense.
Now,
perfect fit for them, but
like I said, this was a last-minute deal. It was posted at 3:01.
Yeah,
1 minute.
This came literally after the Andrew Kopp deal was finalized, I think.
Which I was skipping because I've been trying to keep refreshing so I could see what the Jets got for Kopp because it won't show me. So that's the last trade we have. Do you have it, Jordan? The Kopp deal in front of you?
I don't yet, but a massive extension just came through.
A massive extension. Okay, we'll talk about the Kopp deal in a minute. I want to get all the info on him before we discuss. He goes to the Rangers
another
as well.
trade did go through, though. The Edmonton Oilers trade for Derek Brassard. They send Philadelphia a 2023 4th-round pick.
Okay, yeah.
I think
Brassard for a 4th, yeah. I like that.
I like Derek Brassard.
I got another one that just came out. Don't have the official news on it, but Max Domi is a Carolina Hurricane.
Oh, wow.
So that's coming out super fast as much as we can. Lots of trades flying in, but do we want to do the signings?
Pittsburgh Penguin?
Is there? I do not.
There's a new Pittsburgh Penguin, buddy.
Oh,
Can I tell you?
You can tell me. Tell me.
I can tell you. Rickard Rakell.
No way!
Rakell.
Whoa.
Really?
Traded for a 2nd-round pick.
No fucking way!
Whoa.
I'll open it on my phone and read it sideways if I can.
No
2nd round pick and a prospect. That's all it is. Oh, yeah. No, nothing.
Please don't be the 1 or the 3 prospects. It better not be. Oh,
so
that's a little scary.
That happened.
Yeah. Crazy.
Rakell.
Well, we wait for these trades to be official and we know exactly what they are. Let's talk about the extensions that were signed in the past couple days here. So, I already mentioned the Hampus Lindholm deal, so I'm not going to re-bring that one up. So, let's start with, I can start with Harry Sateri. He's a free agent, signed a 1-year deal, $750K with the Leafs. Don't really know much about him. He played in the Olympics for...
Awesome name.
I don't know who he played for. I'm sorry. But
Finland.
Finland? And yeah, he had a really good tournament.
He got claimed by Arizona on waivers.
No way. Oh, that's so gay. I hate that rule, by the way. Like, that is the stupidest rule in hockey, that you have to go through waivers after you sign a contract there. You chose where you want to go.
Yep.
I think it's stupid.
No, that's what I read.
Yeah, I didn't see that he was claimed. That sucks.
There's been he did get claimed off of waivers.
Stupid rule.
Because they just traded
Wedgwood. The other waiver claims that have gone through are Derek Bullio from Vegas. He gets claimed by Kraken.
He was a former Penguin.
Brad Richardson gets claimed from Calgary. He's heading across the pond to Vancouver.
Oh, nice. Going to
And obviously, as we said yesterday, Mrazek was placed on waivers. He did clear.
As expected. Yeah. Perfect. Let's jump into a couple of these extensions we got here. Let's start with the goaltenders. Start with the AZ goalie, the Milkman, getting $8.75 million in total for 3 years. 2.75 AAV. What a contract.
Currently, Vejmelka sits at a .905 save percentage and a .335 goals against average, which for Arizona
really
team
good
that's
for
bottom
Arizona.
of the barrel is very good.
Fact is, a 9.0 save percentage.
905.
A 905 is insane. With how many games he's played.
Yeah, his rookie record this year is 10-23-1.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are you guys' thoughts on this signing?
Fantastic.
You guys love it, Chase? you feeling about the milkman?
I advocate for goalies getting paid as much as possible all the time. It's nice that he got the deal, but it's a little weird. The only reason I bring that up is because what I'll say about the next one that's kind of exactly like this, but
The exact
for
same.
Veggie, I like it. I kind of like it for Veggie because he's come directly and just stood on his head.
He was thrown in this year, and he literally took the reins.
Yeah, I feel like I can at least trust him a little bit more than our next one we're gonna bring up.
The exact same deal.
The Anton Forsberg getting the exact same deal. 3 years at 2.75, 8.75 million annual. So you like Vejmelka better than Forsberg?
I like that. I like the contract for Vejmelka better than Forsberg. I know it's like quick and like all of a sudden, just giving him a contract as in for Vejmelka, but no, like Forsberg's been around, man. Like we know who Forsberg is, dude, and
he's been so good.
I hope this pays off. I hope he can be a backup goalie. I really do. I really do. But he has at least decent amount of experience. He had that good stint in Chicago where he had 35 games. But like honestly, like that's like no disrespect to like Tokarski, but like that's like giving Tokarski a 3-year, $2 million deal because he's playing good this year and being a decent backup goalie.
That's a good point.
Maybe not that far, just because of the experience a little bit more that Forsberg's had. But like, man, I like how he plays. He's always put up good numbers. Like maybe just nobody's trusted him, and that's just simply it. Wonder. So I hope it's fine. It's Ottawa. It's not like it's gonna
these deals. I don't think there's any downside because they're not gonna spend up to the cap enough where almost $3 million is gonna affect them, especially as a backup. Like
if it ends up being a bad deal, it's a bad deal, and it's whatever.
You can trade away.
Yeah,
easily trade.
At the absolute worst, you could bury it.
So I'm not worried one bit by either of these guys because worst case, bury it. Next one. An interesting one that got a lot of people's head scratching, but
it appears it's a sign and trade.
Yes, Jake DeBrusk signing a 2-year, $8 million deal, $4 million AAV. A lot of people thinking, well, I thought he asked for a trade out. He did. He did not resend his trade request. He still would like to be traded, but wanted the extension. Makes it easier to trade.
Obviously, it makes it easier as another team to take that gamble on him because you know for sure he has the term coming to you and you know what he'll want to be paid.
Absolutely. So, and then moving on to the last player I have on this, as far as I know, it's the last player, but if I'm wrong, let me know.
I have one more.
Cool. Blake Lizotte getting a 2-year, $3.35 million contract, AAV of a 1.675. So, getting a nice little pay raise for his season.
I think he's an underrated player. I think he's solid on the Kings. I think this is a good deal both ways. Yeah, you pay him what he's worth and not much more, right?
Yeah,
I don't think this is an overpayment or an underpayment.
No, you can't really be an underpayment, hey? For that,
I think it's 1. A great deal both ways.
It's great. I like it too. What's the next one you got, though?
That I have comes from Carolina. 8-year extension, $4.82 million AAV. Jesper Kotkaniemi.
How much was it?
8 years at
8 years at $4.82 million.
4.82. 82. Wow. I thought they'd get him for 4.
Yeah, so did
I. Getting close to 5. Damn, that's not much of a
8 years.
That's not much of a cheap deal.
You know what? I love
8 years.
I love it for the 8 years, and the cap's going up. Cap's going up in very due time.
The way I think about this, it looks a little awkward now. In 2 years, this is going to look like a bargain.
Yeah, I think it's going to look. I think it's in 2 years. It's going to be a good contract, fair.
Now, but
and then in a couple of years, I really think he'll play up to that contract. I really do.
Yep. I agree.
I think he has the ability to surpass that contract ability-wise, too. So.
Yep. And clearly so does Carolina locking him up.
Carolina loved this guy for years, Like they've been trying to trade. They were trying to trade for him for a long time in Montreal, like for a year.
Yeah, and we saw what happened last offseason with them giving Montreal a bit of the finger.
Yeah, and off-shooting them because of the Aho thing, and we knew this was gonna happen, didn't we? We said they'd sign an 8-year extension this year at some point for $4 to $5 million.
Yep.
think we kind of nailed that, hey?
Yeah, hey, I wasn't sure if they would be able to go 8 or if they would go 8. I was thinking maybe more of like a 6 range at like, yeah, I thought they'd be able to get at least $4 million and get it much cheaper. I thought the whole idea was to get them like on the cheap for like 3 to 4, 5 years, not like at like a pretty good ticket for a couple of years and then hopefully a super cheap ticket for ever, which probably not a bad idea. I don't mind it, like you said.
Absolutely. I got another trade here breaking down. Small one, but Ryan Carpenter is going to be a Calgary Flame and for a 5th round pick. Don't know what year it is yet, but lots of trades. 2024? Cool.
Yeah, 2024 5th round pick.
Yeah, I was just looking at Elliot Friedman tweeting it out. And
they're saying Copper.
Yeah, Copper is a Ranger.
Going to the Rangers. They don't know what the return is.
Yeah, I don't yet either.
Like picks and prospects.
I want to know who.
Not an actual player like I kind of wanted them to go for.
They wanted a real player too. They were talking before, saying they're kind of buyers and sellers today. Chevy.
Yeah, so Cogliano was a 2024 5th round pick. Was all that was. Sanford, right, Sanford.
Cool.
That's crazy that Mott was only
the details on the Max Domi trade have just come out as well.
Perfect. What do you got for us?
Max Domi is traded to Carolina for Aiden Horeshuk, who was the 94th overall pick last year.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, sure. Interesting. I thought they would want to pick, but fair enough.
Ooh, a little Vladislav
Max Domi for a prospect.
Max Domi for just a prospect. Oh, wow.
Just that prospect. Not too bad. Is it 50% retained, I'd assume?
I don't believe so.
Really? Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. It was a 3rd round pick, the guy, you said, the prospect last year? Or a late 2nd or whatever?
He was the 94th overall selection.
Yeah, it should be a late 3rd, early 4th or something like that. So, not too bad. I am trying hard to find this Cop deal, and there's nothing yet. So...
no doubt. Hey, Brassard.
Yeah.
4th round
for the
pick
4th round
2023.
To the Oilers, like Jordan mentioned.
The Oilers, the old fucking Oilers.
I would like to know who the prospect
of
Penguins sent for Raquel is.
Yeah, no doubt. No, that's going to be an interesting move. I like that. He should be able to work with Malkin and get him popping off. Like, he's got the skill.
Got some tweets about it from Penguins fans. Getting real strong James Neal vibes from a Raquel acquisition, someone said. Heinen, Malkin, Raquel sounds nice. Couple of stuff there. So, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Not here yet.
I heard that I got a little rumor saying that Nemestikov's to the Stars.
To Stars?
Nemestikov to the Stars.
Interesting deal. Nemestikov going to Stars for... Yeah, I like that. That's a good one for really help their 3rd line out.
Yeah, no, they need that extra piece. Somebody's been missing all year, the old Stars.
Yes, they have.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else for us, boys. Like, we're just basically waiting for these.
Yeah, we're
just to come in.
Let's break down some trades, then. Let's how these guys slot in. Let's see what we got here.
Sure, let's each bring up a trade or two we like, and then we'll each say our winner and loser for it, and then hopefully we can end it with the news officially of Raquel and Cop, hopefully. So how about I'll throw it to you then, Jordan. What is the one trade you're really liking off your first?
How do your boys slot in?
Yeah, Johann Larson. I'm really happy about that one.
Yeah,
that's mint, man. That like him.
Does that make up for having given up Sprong?
Like, that's a 4th
No,
line,
but it certainly hurts a lot less.
Like, getting both of them at least, yeah. So
yeah, it certainly hurts less, but yeah, I really am happy with that deal as a standalone.
Yeah, fair enough. Chase, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about your Wings and their deals? Just loving life over here?
I'd be over the moon about that Nick Leddy deal.
Yeah,
I kind of want to talk about those Johansson and stuff, man. Like that 3rd line. You think that'll work? You got that Sherry, Eller, and Johansson is probably what it'll be.
Probably,
I would think. You should be able to do something with that, or are they going to push like Oshie down
to cover Hagelin?
Yeah, like will they go with like a Kuzi, Oshie, Johansson, or will they go with like the Mantha?
Probably Mantha.
Oshie situation.
Mantha's been big.
I'm gonna check their lines.
Injury.
Yeah, Mantha's been.
If you're able to get accurate lines from them with their half AHL team.
Yeah,
this season.
No, they're basically healthy. I thought nowadays. Now that because like they've been winning, lighting it up. Yeah,
we're still playing the likes of Joe Snively and
Janssen Philby played a couple games this week and such. So they're still playing. They're still what you guys probably playing at least 2 or 3 guys that are
at least
every day.
Least 2 a game.
2 that are not supposed to be your daily NHLers. So that'll help with your
daily face-offs being real slow. But yeah, with the wings, dude, geez Louise. I'm super excited to have another right-handed forward in my top 6 because I think he might play in the top 6. And if that's not the case, then he's playing possibly third-line center for us, which has been a pretty decent, just a spot. We can't keep somebody consistently like matching up against the other team. And something I brought up a lot is just our middle 6 depth is just not there, and he definitely helps that. I think it'll be. I wonder if I'm not sure if we're trading Nemestikov or not, so I'm gonna act like we are because that's what it sounds like. Maybe we just play Sundqvist on the side with Suter and Bertuzzi, or we pull Vrana down. I think that could work really well.
Yeah, the Nemestikov stuff just came out.
Just came out? What is it?
Yeah, the Stars are getting him for a 4th round pick.
Yeah, just a 4th.
All right, there you go.
Not getting much, but I guess that's how she goes. Hopefully it's next year's because we have 3 fourth round picks this year. But yeah, no, I like Sundqvist. I think he complements the lineup. He gives us a good top 9. That gives me Vrana, Larkin, Raymond, Bertuzzi, Suter, Sundqvist, and then Rasmussen, Veleno, and Zadina. So I think that'll actually mesh quite well. I wonder how he'll try everything. We'll try everything. That's what they do all the time. But
you guys need to get your second line going, like desperately. You need to get some scoring out of them and like some consistency. Because like you said all year, it's been painful on the forward group there.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Bertuzzi, Suter, Sundqvist, or a Vrana, Suter, Sundqvist. Because
I wonder if you should
that should somewhat work. Like it may not outmatch you all the time, but that should actually work.
I wonder if you guys should like throw Ernie in there from like time to time on that second line, like not like daily, but like the odd game, just because he's always so fast and always moving. And I think you just need that.
With him, you gotta find those games where he's just fucking ready to go,
and you just send him out every second shift. Like he's one of those guys when he's flying, he's gonna be a problem. So
this also helps our center, like our face-offs, having an actual right-handed face, like with Giroux with the Flyers or with the Panthers, the Flying Panthers. He can help them with their face-off ability. So I love Sundqvist. The defense, Wallman. Just a beautiful piece. I actually talked about him a decent amount, how much I liked him with St. Louis as being the 6th guy. I would be okay with him being the 6th guy, or I'm interested to see how he does because he plays pretty good on a good team. So maybe he can be at least solid for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I got an interesting stat here from the Leafs. Actually,
I wonder who he plays with.
Kyle Dubas counts that 11 players Maple Leafs have lost to waivers since 2018. Says the league this is doubled from everyone else in the league, from anyone else. Wow. So they've gotten 11 claimed players off waivers or been taken.
I mean, part of that is the cap issue they put themselves in, but I do agree a part of that also is just the unfortunateness of
it's the fact that the eyes are always on Toronto. So the fact that, let's be honest, who has heard any news about Adam Brooks pretty much since he's not been a Leaf? I used to hear about him. I used to hear about him every week. Like, this guy's a real good 4th line center. He's going to be real good. I barely know he's in the NHL half the time. Like, I forget he signed an extension this year with the Jets, was it? I don't even remember who he signed it with.
I think it was the Jets.
Like, it's just, I agree they do lose a lot. I think it's because of the media, funny enough.
Okay,
but just an interesting stat.
Raquel stuff is out now.
Finally. Okay, what do we got?
All right. Oh, okay, it's not fully out. There's only, the prospect isn't named, but one of the pieces is named.
Second?
Zach Aston Reese.
Yeah, hey, they did have to give up a player. Damn. Holy shit.
It's going to be Zach Aston Reese, a 2022 second, and whoever
you
that
look excited. You screenshot your face? That's fucking hilarious.
I don't know what to say. I'm so sad.
I guess we're waiting to hear that prospect.
I was just about to say too that the Domi trade is starting to get more traction as it's a 3-way trade to retain salary with Florida, Columbus, and Carolina as the 3 teams, and sounds like he'll be a Hurricane, as I said.
Yeah,
fuck!
To the Hurricanes.
Aston Reese? Really? Dickheads. Fuck. I'm so upset, actually. Like, this prospect better not be decent. This better not be Pussarainen, Poulin.
Would you be okay if it's Almeida? Almeida?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. He's pretty much going to be an AHL guy, I think, for the most part. Maybe a throw in when there's injuries, but I'd be okay with Almeida. But Aston Reese really does hurt, man. Yeah, he's so fucking good.
Yeah,
he's been pretty big time.
I get it. I mean, I think it's because they don't want to pay him next year. He's probably getting 2.5 for some term, which I get. Look, it probably makes us better this year. It probably does, but I wonder if our depth's worse. But yeah.
Yeah, who's your right-handed fourth line winger then? It's not
Erod?
Or if it's not.
I don't know. I don't like him on the 4th line. Erod.
I guess you'll be playing lefties on the fucking 4th line then.
Oh, plus
you don't have any righties.
Is a righty? No, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, it's what I'd assume we're gonna do. Forward's gonna stay the same for Crosby line. It's gonna be Gensel, Crosby, Rust, probably Raquel, Malkin, and I'd like to see Rodriguez. Probably. Rodriguez should be the guy because Raquel's left-handed.
Unless it's Zucker.
Yeah, he is.
Unless it's Zucker.
No, you go Erod. Zucker, you put on the third
Zucker
line
with Carter.
You turn Zucker into your Zach Aston Reese if you have to. For this playoff run, like who can score? Obviously, you need that.
That wouldn't be terrible if you can hang with your 3 lines without Zucker in your top 9, and he can be your 4th line. That could be a real big asset.
I would like our 3rd line probably be like Carter, Zucker, and Kapanen, and then 4th line Bluger, McGinn, and Heinen. That's probably what I'd do. Honestly, this is gonna sound nuts. I almost would have rather done something with Kapanen instead of getting Aston Reese.
I would have traded Heinen.
Yeah.
No, I'd agree.
Money doesn't work though. I think was the problem, or what? Like,
just give
they couldn't send anybody down, or
just give up Zucker.
Damn. That's a tough break. I don't like that. I don't love it. Rid of Zach Aston Reese. I thought he was a very big piece of their Jello, their wiggly Jello they got going. But
no, what though? Looking at his stats for Calgary here, I got him in front of me. He's about like a middle guy here. It's on pace for 23 goals, 29 assists, 50 points. Like, that's not too bad. He's only a minus 0.7 on defense. That's not terrible by any means. A 1.2 on offense, which is okay. So I'm not a wholly against it. I just hate Aston Reese is gone. I'm actually really sad.
No, that's how I felt about Johann.
I feel ya.
Oh man, like, I'm kind of upset that you're only upset about Sprong. Like, I wish we gave up Sprong instead.
Yeah, no.
But you gotta do what you gotta do. It made us better. Gotta get that Malkin line running. Look, if Raquel and Malkin link up well, like good, I'm okay with this deal. But if they don't, I'm a little scared. But I guess we'll wait and see.
Zach Aston Reese, 59.5% on ice, even strength goals, 4%. at 5-on-5. So that's really good.
That's insane.
Jesus fuck.
He's so good. He's no, I don't. I'm let's move off them. Talk about something else, please.
Disappointed honestly. I don't like that they did that.
I'm so disappointed. And before we end the pod, I really want to get this cop deal out.
Yeah, no doubt.
Before we close
while we're saying cop, let's just talk about the Jets getting Appleton back and Sanford, and they're kind of slot up, because that's key. They're kind of pushing the reset button here and seeing if the team could kind of look at each other and be like, maybe we can do this. We get Appleton back. That does make our lineup the way they intentionally wanted it to be. They were doing what they could to not have Appleton off their team at the start of the year. They really wanted to go into the year with the same team there, and maybe they I think they might have found that reset. Let's look at
I have
because they had Lowry and Kopp on that third line. So are you just gonna go Sanford to replace him, or do you pull up a Harkins? Harkins
I'd probably decent. Play on that.
He's
third
been all
line
over.
Instead.
Does Mason Appleton play with Duval?
He might play that third
second line or something, because they've been trying to throw Svechnikov in there. It's been working every once in a while. It's probably not a bad idea.
Not at all. He's been really good in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I think you just tinker around.
Might stick with there. So maybe Appleton comes in and gets that third line role he always truly wanted.
Yeah, I think he'll take over that Cop role. Frankly, I think that's.
He'll be excited to come back. It's a guy they all know. So maybe that gives him a little bit more of a juice. And Sanford's like we've said, he's fast and just a pain in the ass to deal with. So
big and fast, yeah.
I like it. I like it because it adds to their insane intimidation on forward, which I wish they would have done something for their defense, but I think it should line up. If they're not,
we'll see in the offseason.
Stasny went anywhere, so maybe Stasny's with Lowry and what's his name, Appleton. So
Appleton.
No, this might be a better team out of this for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The small little draft picks they gave up. It's gonna kind of suck to lose Kopp, but I think it was kind of inevitable. I just don't think it was in the
and I
money
think
plans.
I have that deal. It's not confirmed. We're waiting for confirmation, but it sounds like the deal is Libor Hayek is in it.
Nice, my boy.
And 2 second-round draft picks from the Rangers. Assuming lead 2022 because they have 2 of them. They have Florida's, I think, and their own. St. Louis's from the Bushnevich trade. So,
that's 2 second rounders. So it would have been. It
sounds like
a second rounder.
And the Jets, I think it was the St. Louis and the Rangers second. I don't know the years yet. Like I said, this isn't confirmed.
Both years. I would think that they would keep at least one of those second round picks, so we can kind of assume it would be this year's.
I think it might be both this year's, just because I thought he would have went for a first. Yeah, I wonder if it's that.
Who was the player that won? Libor Hayek. Yeah, hey, no doubt.
Yeah, I think that's.
I guess I could be looking on Twitter and stuff.
Interesting. So I think that's all I got for it though on him. For last minute tweets from anyone, is there anything?
So with Max Domi, it appears that there might be complications in the deal. Cap, I think it says Florida is the third broker team involved in the Carolina and Columbus deal.
Yeah.
There's a few unsigned players involved. I don't know. It'll be a weird one.
I feel like we'll have to wait for next podcast to really discuss to get these official ones. I'm gonna hit one more refresh and see if something comes up. If not, I think we can end the podcast on that. And it does not look like anything is official. So we'll probably have to wait 20 minutes. So. Do you guys have anything? I got one more thing that we can do to close it off. Let's each choose your guys' winner of this deadline and your loser. So, I'll kick it off with the winner, and I'm going to go with the Montreal Canadiens. They did so good with Sherratt, Lehkonen, Kulak. These guys are all depth guys, and they got, legit pieces for them. So, like I said before, it's Montreal, and Kent Hughes is my number one winner for sure. But, Jordan.
Yeah, you took the team right out of my mouth,
so
I'll have to pick another, but that's not bad. I'm gonna say Philly. Philly was a team that this draft, or
this was
sorry,
a big deadline.
This deadline, yeah, was big. It really determined how the direction in Philadelphia was, and this direction showed that they have some promise in this draft, and they want to draft some big pieces to come to Philly. Which why wouldn't you?
No, absolutely. You need to retool it somehow.
Yeah, I Braun, Brassard, I think both of those were fantastic moves.
The Giroux trade, even though they were handcuffed, I think they did fairly good for being handcuffed.
Obviously, a no-move clause is a no-move clause. Like, you can only do so much. So
exactly. Chase, what do you got? Who is your winner of the deadline?
Who is my winner? Man, I'm gonna say Tampa Bay.
Yeah, love it. I love that.
Because
speaking of Tampa Bay,
those were two pieces that I really thought, like, actually, legitimately, when I didn't look at rumors, I literally just looked at like when we said that this is a perfect, Hegel is the Tampa Bay trade. Like, that is the guy. That's literally the perfect guy for that. That is the Tampa Bay piece. So it's awesome that they got him. It's obviously a little
weird. Riley Nash. I'm not sure for what, but it is Riley Nash is heading from the Yotes to Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah,
nice. Yeah, just to get another right-handed centerman, probably, like, get some in case you need it. Because I think most of their guys are all. Is Bell? He left, I think.
Another name got released in the Raquel trade.
Yeah, I just saw it. Bob McKenzie just said Dominic Simone, Aston Reese, a prospect, and a 2022 second are a part of the trade, but it is not official yet, so wait to hear more. I'm okay with Simone, obviously. This prospect better not be someone decent, or I'll be pretty sad.
Edward Belmar is left-handed, so yeah, just in case he goes down or something like that, they got a right-handed guy.
Yep. Recreating that new formed third line or something.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm more of a guy with like Killorn, Stammer, and Hegel. I feel like they're gonna go back to their old lines from last playoffs.
Yeah.
Palat, Point, and Cooch. But obviously things have been working quite well how they've been working. But I think this is good because Hegel's been scoring. And he can do that offensive part, so he can stick on an offensive line. They'll find a way and find a spot for him. So
he can shoot. He's a fantastic playmaker. Obviously, he's defensively liable. He's extremely competent.
Yeah, he's got lots of speed, lots of smarts too.
And it's not just his fucking cool ass name.
Yeah.
No.
And Nick Paul's he's big. He's big. He's gonna be feisty for that team. Like, I'm really interested to see how this shakes out on their lineup, because they're gonna be super, super hard to beat again. Like, those pains in the asses. But what do you got there, Jordan, for your winning?
He picked
Philly.
He picked Philly there for it. He talked about it.
Oh, jeez Louise.
He talked about the Braun. He liked the Giroux. The what other one did you say? The Brassard. Braun.
The other one, the Brassard.
Yeah. So let's jump into our loser then. I'm gonna go with. I've been odd about picking this team. I'm gonna go with it because I just can't stand them right now this season. Edmonton Oilers. I'm so disappointed. So disappointed you sold that high for Kulak, and that's all you pretty much did. Like, getting Brassard, that's all right. It's a fine deal. What was it? 5th round pick, 4th round pick. So it's like,
yeah, it was cheap.
Whatever, but that deal with Montreal sucks, and you didn't even make your team better, and you have the 2 best players in the NHL. That's an L every year. You gotta make your team better. I don't agree with getting rentals. They should have got guys with term. Definitely should have tried to make some cap moves and make that work. So I'm
4th round pick for Brassard. Holy shit.
Yeah. Very disappointed in Holland's deadline. He was boring, and when he did make a move, it was overpayment by a lot for Kulak. So I'm very disappointed. I don't mind
Brassard. Like, he was
I don't mind that one.
Honestly, I really loved him, but yeah, no, it is
everything else
that nothing really
sucks.
He got his hands tied behind his back, which to me, I think it's fine for the growth of this team. They're gonna hopefully they can still make the playoffs, because if they don't, not good. Not good for Kenny's rep.
No, I already think it's taking a big hit because Oilers fans were already pissed that last year they didn't buy. When last year they were in a Canadian division, probably had the best chance of going to the final. So I agree. This is another season where you have Connor McDavid probably out in the first or second round because their team isn't good enough. So I'm disappointed. Until the Oilers show they can win a round or two, I've got nothing for this team. Nothing. So that's my loser. What do you got for us, Jordan?
I'm going to say Seattle.
Ooh.
Seattle is a team that did some good moves, like Liaison, for example, was a fantastic move.
Yeah.
It's just the inconsistencies. How can you get a second for Liaison and then you can flip like other pieces for nothing? It was just baffling that they seem to do so well in some trades, and then other trades it was like, what were you thinking? Like, surely somebody offered a little more.
Right. Yeah, I got that. Like the Geo trade, like we said, it's not a bad deal by any means. It's just
or Mason Appleton, like
the Appleton one,
right? Like Liaison was great, but
the other obviously should have done whatever Chevy wanted you to do in the off season with the whole
other ones make me scratch my head.
Yeah, I agree. I think
so. I don't think they were horrible. Like I said, obviously, getting Liaison off for a second was a perfect deal.
Yeah, but losers can simply be someone like for the Oilers. They didn't really do much, so it's a boring loser. But like I expected more. I expect you to do something,
and then you made a couple bad moves. So in my mind, those bad moves don't really make me feel much better.
Yeah. I feel that.
Like,
I feel that.
My loser is more of a team that was quiet, man. That I felt
I was leaning that way too.
For once, they should have not been quiet. Though it's the way of the Dallas Stars actually.
Fair
Though
enough.
I do agree with that.
I was thinking the Preds is my second one.
Columbus would have been mine for that. Columbus was quiet.
Yes, that's
good. Fight for that one. Because I could
Dallas.
say either or, but Dallas, man.
I agree. They didn't even move Radulov.
There's a reason I brought up the Hegel thing because
that's about it, I think.
Like they have the and Nemestikov.
And Nemestikov.
Yeah, and Nemestikov.
But just rentals, hey. So
with a bus deal, a fourth.
To me, like I said earlier with the Bagel thing, like you guys could have got that, and it wouldn't have hurt your prospect pool that much. They don't do that. I know they don't do this. But you have these big contracts, and you know they're not living up to those contracts. And I think you should have fucking got a Bagel. You should have got somebody that could fit in here and give your team a boost, because I know you're fighting to get into the playoffs. But man, like when you guys are good, and if you could get people slotted in the right spot, guys producing at least consistently where they need to be here, like, and it's only like a player or two away. Like Nemestikov might actually fix that little secondary scoring niche. They just need to
I think he'll help
kind of
make
everybody comfortable. But without like an addition on defense that gives them a little bit of a kick, I don't know if this is gonna go. Like I said, I think they should have fucking went deep for once instead of.
This was a team that was talking about moving Klingberg at the start of the trade rumors. So I kind of expected a lot from Dallas out of this deadline. I certainly think that's a great selection.
Yeah,
and they have like a good team to like. This is a good playoff team. This is like a Montreal team. It's built for playoff hockey.
Yeah,
like,
and they're competitive.
Yeah, I would have really liked them to get a top 6 forward with Term. I would have loved to see him go for like hard on like a Garland or
a Cop that they could have possibly
to extend.
You know, like this is like I know Cop would be a little expensive and like next year, but
he's so good though.
Just I feel like you should have fucking went out for something for sure.
So
a little bit more than just a rental, but maybe they can makeshift something pretty sweet and get things going again in next year. But I don't know. Kind of disappointed that they didn't blow me away a little bit, especially with the Heiskanen injury.
Yep.
You know, like kind of expected something.
No, I agree with all of those. Couldn't agree more. But that's all the time we got for this podcast. Let us know, like tweet us, DM us, whatever the case is. Comment on the YouTube page.
Maybe different.
Yeah, let us know. Who do you guys think was the winners, losers? What trade was your favorite? What was your least? We want to know all you guys think. Go follow us on our social medias on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Post on those pretty much daily. So just try and show some love, and we'll see you guys again on Thursday's podcast. And happy deadline day. Talk to you guys later. Peace, guys.
Have a good one.
Peace.